Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting show, IT Career Talk with Professionals. And today we have an IT business consultant and faculty. But before we continue, some stats for our viewers. 71% of you are watching but not subscribed, right? But if you really want to support us and you enjoy our show, please do hit that subscribe button and notification bell. So here now presenting our guest speaker, Mr. Jerome Locson, MBA.
Yeah.
So hello Jerome, say hello to our audience.
Hi, Rafi, and hi to the YoungCTO audiences on YouTube. So, sabi nga ni Rafi, do subscribe.
Thank you sa call out. No? So let's get into it. What is a IT business consultant and faculty?
All right. So, those are actually my uh, work right now. So, I'm a young faculty at the Asian Institute of Management where I do teach short courses program from business to technical courses.
Right.
So, we do educate startups, young professionals or aspiring managers as well, to equip them with the business technical language for them to move forward in their careers. And I'm also a IT business consultant as well, coming from a tech background and with degree in education. Business. So we help organizations from nonprofit to government and even private companies to help with their technical and business concerns so that they can as well move forward with their business objectives, right?
Great. As a faculty, especially faculty, no, what prepared you and what value, what skills are you bringing in so that you can really be ready to teach also others, no, on IT business?
Well, I think actually hindi it was really not my plan to be a
Mm,
faculty. It was an unhappy accident that when I'm taking my MBA here at the Asian Institute of Management, a professor saw me regularly reading books while on break, and then he thought na I'm a learner and maybe a good educator as well. So during my school year here, we've been engaging about, talking about the plans of me trying out, sharing my knowledge and experiences with other professionals. So they thought of, sige, let's do a tryout of teaching.
mm,
I think way back in 2019, I had my first teaching experience here. And then
mm-hmm.
when they saw that I have a good feedback from the students and the professionals, so they got me as a not really a full time, but an adjunct. So adjunct is really a part time
Mm-hmm.
uh, educator here at AIM. So perhaps what is needed to be a faculty is you have the in-depth knowledge of the industries that you're trying to educate, and I think that's what they need in general. So yun, so I'm sharing my experiences, what I know, and then of course I'm trying to learn then from the other faculty and students here at the institution. So yun.
Right. No? So it seems to me that you bring kasi a very unique perspective because you are from the industry, so you bring in a lot of experiences, and then you have that background in being a learner and avid learner, avid reading, and so you're able to combine both the tech and also the education sector together, no? Um,
Yeah. Mhm.
Siguro, to dig deeper on this, or even to understand it more, maybe we should ask how it all started. No, how did you pick the IT career, maybe versus an education career, or what were your thoughts during grade school, high school? Like, how
Yeah.
did this all begin? What was
So
your journey
actually,
like?
yeah, actually that's a good question kasi when I was younger, I'm fun teaching my nephews sa
Mm.
neighborhood namin. So it was a childhood dream to be a teacher. So
Mm-hmm.
yun. But eventually it changed while
Mm.
I get exposed during high school and college, exposed to new environment. So doon na bago yung ano. But when I learned that teaching is really a difficult job, so I changed my plan. So
Mm.
uh, high school wise, I was really planning into taking any hardcore sciences like
Mm.
physics or chemistry, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the entrance exam for that course. So, uh, accidentally, there was an offering from CHE that there's a computer science scholarship program, blah blah blah. So I applied, and
Mhm.
fortunately nakapasa ako. So it
Mm.
was an accident, me taking a computer science. So I finished my computer science degree at the Ateneo de Zamboanga. So I'm from Zamboanga. So it took a while for me to appreciate the technology and the technical courses. But it was actually, again, I have a lot of happy accidents taking this career path. But at some point, nag-drop out din ako for a
Wow.
couple of years because I thought, okay, I think twice akong nag-drop out from college because I get addicted to the web technology. Kasi way back early 2000, wala pang
Mm.
masyadong web designing or web development courses sa mga university. So,
Mm.
nag-self-study ako. I get addicted to it and then nag-drop out. But then, when I tried working and start my early career in Manila, uh, sure, experience, you get the exposure. But when I asked for a higher pay,
Mm.
they deferred kasi sabi nila, okay, you're unfortunately without a degree program
Wow,
or
wow. That was
yeah,
okay.
way back medyo ano siya, medyo parang an issue yan. So if you
Mm.
want a higher pay grade or a higher role sa organization, if you want promotion, you need a formal education or a degree. So
Mm.
that made me decide to go back to Zamboanga and really finish my education. So it took 9 years for me to properly finish BS Computer Science, but it was I think a hard decision and a good decision at the same time to really pursue it. Kasi if walang degree, wala ako ngayon dito. I
Mm.
mean, it was a challenge kasi sure, Zamboanga is really, I mean, in Zamboanga, medyo mahirap yung technical infrastructure, internet connectivity, or whatnot. So, I got limited then in terms of opportunity doon. So after
Mm.
graduating, I got so limited in terms of opportunity. So I decided to explore other work apart from Manila. So nag-Cebu ako. So
Mm.
I tried working with small companies, startups, and then eventually when I tried moving forward, so I worked with big companies then. So I have experience from working on, again, small startups and even putting my own startup. So yun yung isang dream ko din to put my own startup, but unfortunately it failed, no? So
Mm.
yun. So, I mean, part of our growing process, learning process is failure. So again, move to your next objective or goal. So yun. And later on, while gaining experience and moving up into the career ladder, no, it made me realize actually ayoko lang puro technical yung alam ko.
Mm. Mm.
I want to understand then the entire business kasi I thought of, I have that entrepreneurial spirit, why not learn more about it? And since nag-fail nga yung startup ko, I need to understand more about putting up a business, hindi lang puro
Mm.
technical. Kasi
Mm.
when you build a startup, puro product yung focus natin more building these features or whatnot.
Mm.
But the business side of it is really the biggest part, hindi lang yung puro product. Yun, so it actually then eventually made me decide to take up a business degree para at least I understand marketing, finance, partnerships or whatnot.
Mm.
And yun, so I think yun yung medyo mahabang journey ko to be where I am right now, but it's worth journey naman kasi I'm happy naman where where
Right,
I am.
right, no. And good thing you mentioned at that time, no, you mentioned that the degree and was really important. Is that, do you think the degree and certifications or things like these are important, as important, no, as important right now, or this is has that change in landscape at the moment?
I think with change in the business cultures right now with all the technologies, learning is you know for many, learning it will be an easy access na lang. So you have the
Mm-hmm.
internet, you have all these webinars or whatnot, tutorials. You can take those curriculum online. So
Mm-hmm.
I think medyo na diminish na yung requirement. But again, it really depends on the organization. If the organization is still structured or maybe traditional, medyo may high ano pa rin sila take on having a formal degree or education. And but for excuse me, but for more I think advanced organizations, maybe not much in the Philippines, sa abroad, medyo hindi naman sila priority in terms of the credentials. It's more on the technical skills that you have, kung ano yung role na ina-applyan mo, and then of course equipped with the right experience, yun. So that's, I think, more valuable for them right now. For certifications, well, for sure, may mga skill sets talaga kailangan mo ng certifications para at least you will be vetted na you have the technical knowledge. Say, for example, if we do Java certification or whatnot, so cloud infrastructure certification or engineering certification. So yun, I think some organizations still requires kasi for one, from what I know, some organizations meron silang ISO certifications and kailangan to apply for that, those engineering or those people needs to have some certain level of proficiency with those certification.
Right,
Yeah.
right. No. Just a side question. No. Do you think MBA, since you have one, it's a path that some developers should potentially consider, or and if so, like, maybe you can share a little bit more on the benefits of having an MBA, given an IT background.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the person's career path, no,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
objective nila. So personally, I took MBA because nga I want to venture into business and startups moving forward, and that's why we're stopping right now. Of course, when I do consultancy, I need to understand and have the knowledge on doing the entire business concept, no, to understand
mm-hmm.
that. But for others, if that's something that they see fit sa kanilang career path, why not? But taking one really needs to, you really need to have some enough resources. I mean, resources meaning not just the money to invest, but also the time to invest on the program for MBA. Kasi if you're now working as a professional, maybe it will take your weekends or your weeknights. That's something that you want to check on then your availability and schedule.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So for me naman personally, I have that timeline while I took what made me decide, sabi ko, before ako mag 40, or not really 40 years old, before ako mag 36 years old, na-divulge na yung ano. So I need to finish my MBA. I need to finish MBA. Either MBA or actually second option din si Masters in Computer Science, but mas manalo pa rin si MBA because consultancy, business, startup, yun yung next career path na gusto ko.
Right, right. And it seems like it's more aligned nga kung IT business consultant ka. If may IT background ka na, dito ka naman sa business side mag-develop more. And
Correct.
that's where the MBA helps, no?
Mhm.
As a IT consultant and faculty, do you still code? And if you do, what languages or what scripting are you currently using?
Yeah, so interestingly, that's something that don't want to stop doing kasi
Mm,
that's
mm,
where I
mm,
started, and I see programming coding as a long-term skills na
mm.
kailangan ko, not just for work but also for work as a programmer or in software engineer, but also how to maybe part of the consultancy work to comment or to suggest o kung ano yung mga coding technologies or programming technologies ang bagay for their specific solutions na gusto nilang gawin. So I do still code from time to time if a project requirement calls for it. I do code. Usually, I started actually C++ and Java, but moving forward, more on PHP, MySQL, and then I do Golang and AppScript for Google App Scripting. So and then of course I do R for data science
Mm,
projects.
mm,
Those are the things that I have, and then of course part of the tech stack I move forward to cloud na rin. So GCP and AWS are
mm.
the cloud solutions that I play around most of the time. So yun. So yeah, I do still code.
Yes, still skill code, no? Great, 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 no? Um, Being an IT consultant, you're normally brought in because they have a problem, and it's a problem that they don't have a skill, or they don't have the solution, no? How do you deal with that? Like, is it? I'm assuming, this is my assumption. They're bringing you in because they don't know how to. Um, so it's something unexpected for them. What are your usual steps to onboard them or get me onboarded on the project?
Yeah, so there are different levels of necessities ng mga organization, no, for a
Mm,
consultant to come in. So some requires us to be a voice from external lang to hear their concerns or hear their plan and do suggestions. But some naman, we will come in as a full-time consultant. So we will
mm,
this from designing, planning, resource management, etc. But my guiding principle is usually like treat any issues or problem as a project. So first things first, I do research muna and understand kung ano yung sino yung organization, the culture, para at least when I first come into a certain meeting, I can set the tone. So if this is an organization na medyo serious, so we need to be presentable and serious doing the meetings. But if medyo lenient naman, so I can play around for at least to get the jive. But on the table, we usually do the basics. So, well, we define the problem by asking quick questions like, where are we right now?
mm,
And then what do you want to do? And then what resources do we have right now? And then let's try to find out kung how can we solve this problem, and then we do a little bit of workshop muna to do sharing and then get really a concrete definition ng requirement or scope of the problem, and then afterwards we lay out the plan, timeline, etc. So medyo again depende sa requirement ng organization for a consultancy to come in. So yeah.
mm, 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 mm. Now, touching a bit on this, no, since sometimes you are brought in to bring in new knowledge, and even in faculty, you are in faculty, you really are bringing in new knowledge, no, because that's what the learners are there for. Ano yung teaching style mo or management style to get them to understand, or at least get them to learn more?
I think for my management style, again, I usually answer questions in an MBA way. So it really depends. So
An
my
MBA
management
way. Oh, interesting. Ano
MBA,
kayang way yan, no?
the quick answer to that is it really depends. So
Ah,
that
yun
it
pala
really
yung
depends.
MBA way. Okay.
Yes. It really depends kasi you need to understand kung sino yung audience mo, yung estudyante mo, client mo. So, or your employees or your teammates. So, in terms of management style, I think predominantly, I am a coaching and democratic leader, or I don't want to call myself boss, but most of my friends call me boss. But yeah, so I would say, yeah, democratic or coaching. So I do consult the team for a consensus in terms of any ideas or decision making that we need. And then, of course, if I see fit to coach the team members to step up or whatnot, yun. So I think it's really important to assess ourselves if we are helping our team members with in terms of on how we handle them or manage them. And in terms of ano naman, my teaching style.
Right, right.
So
Kasi hindi pwede maging democratic sa
yeah,
teaching, di ba? Kasi otherwise, mga
uh,
students, di ba? Gusto lang free cut minsan. Free cut! Gano'n, no?
iba yung setting ng
Iba set,
iba yung setting ng work environment and teaching environment. Sa work environment, you pay your employees or you pay your teachers. That at times you can be at times you can be authoritarian, you instruct. But for being a faculty, I think you need to be more, I would say, empathic, because I think at the current times medyo mahirap to
true.
do online teaching, and then you need to understand the technical issues. But I think ang teaching style ko generally is, well, my teaching methodology, I usually try to sense first kung ano yung feel ng crowd and what is the general demographics of the audience, but at least I can put in examples that can be relatable to all. The order of my teaching is basically to introduce the technical terms or the foundational knowledge that they want to learn, and then bring in cases or business cases for that. So we don't dwell a lot of time discussing the fundamentals, just an introduction. We want them to appreciate it in a real case scenario, so we bring in case paper or even other startups to come in to talk and share about a certain topic related to our discussion topic. So yun. So and then it's basically more of a coaching approach then, not just doing a lecture type of thing while teaching. So that's actually my leadership and management or teaching style.
Yeah. Right. No. So of course, in the eyes of the youth, the eyes of your students, even the eyes of your business partners, given that you are their primary consultant and primary faculty, they look at you as a very successful person. But in your own words, no, what makes you successful? Is it this? Is how they perceive you also how you define success? From ganun.
Yeah. So again, MBA way to answer.
MBA way, good. Oh.
So it really depends again,
Yeah.
no. So
On a personal level,
on a personal level, so we have different views on how to define a person successful. So externally, iba yung tingin nila, maybe on social media, and then maybe on an offline group or with your friends and family, maybe they treat you successful. But personally, at some point, maybe hindi pa ako successful. But at this point, I would like to answer that on a technical terms and put it on, since I think a lot of your audiences dito are, technical people, software engineer, programmers, planning to move to their career path into more advanced roles. No?
Right.
But I think what makes anything successful, or even personally, or if you already met your set objectives or goals. So I would like to give an example, kasi I think 10 years ago, while I was doing my early careers, no, so I'm planning, I have this plan on midterm, long term. Meron akong usual practice eh. So I do
Mm.
have my midterm. Well, yung very short term is within a month or 2 or year. So that's not something that you will uh, really plan and reflect on. But the midterm and long term, maybe like uh, 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years from now. So I do usually reflect and
Mm.
plan on that. So 10 years ago, again, I have three main goals in life. So when I got exposed to different startup communities, tech communities, and then I thought, oh, I'm also interested in putting apps. So that's one. And then community work. So I got exposed to different community tech community works, no. And then I got interested with Google. So sabi ko, oh, I want to work for Google maybe soon. And then of course, yung MBA naman or MSCS, or Master in Computer Science, andyan din yung part ng ano ko.
Mm.
So these three main goals, actually, I have this timeline, specific timeline. So I need to finish all this before ako mag 35 or 38. So luckily, I was able to finish and meet these three goals, but isa yung failure, yung startup at the early stage. So I think, given that, if I've met my goals, maybe I can say na medyo successful. Maybe in terms of how do you say, the physical uh, views ng mga tao sa akin right now, maybe iba yung success definition na for me. Although I get feedback na, oh, I appreciate all your inspirational posting, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if you will assess yourselves or even yung mga audiences natin, I think it's a good practice that you need to assess success based on your goals and if ano ba talaga yung gusto natin gawin. So if you met those, maybe, yeah, we can call it a success. But of course, we don't always succeed, no, in any plans or do. So embrace failure then. So it's a good learning and it's something that we need to embrace regularly. It's frustrating at times, but it's something that we can learn from as well, and then of course improve ourselves moving forward to achieve our next goals in life.
Right, right. No? What a great advice to our youth, no? Parang basically um set goals. I like how you look at it, no? Parang set short-term goals, yung 1 to 2 months lang, simple lang, and then put a midterm, mga 5 years siguro, and then 10 years, no?
Mm.
Ganun. And luckily for you, you were able to achieve all three, and hindi mo na need kailangan i-adjust yung goals mo, no?
Mm.
Uh, right? Kasi although sa audience natin, no, if you have to adjust your goals, pwede naman yun. Right?
Yeah.
Pwede naman yun, no?
Correct. So it really depends on your resources. Kasi when you do have goals, or generally in any project, or let's say project yung mga goals natin, we have resources. We need to invest resources. So work on your goals that is within, that basically within our, you know,
Realm of
resources.
possibility. Parang ganun.
So don't dream the impossible. Although may kanta, dream the impossible dream, but work within your means and resources. Kung kaya, do you think kaya? And of course, it's not bad then. So to ask for help to achieve your goals. So yun. So if you think it's possible and achievable naman, work on it, be perseverant. I think that's the thing that we need to persevere. Kasi ilang times ko rin na-defer yung MBA ko. I think 5 years kong dinelay, and then later on ko na lang tinakon ko siya. But yeah, sometimes sabi mo nga, we need to adjust based on our circumstances in life and resources in life during that certain period of time. So yun, yeah.
Right. No. Na-mention mo to slightly a while ago was about reading, no? You think reading is very important to be in the IT career, or is this more towards the entrepreneurs or to the MBAs, or how does generally reading, or how do you keep up with IT in general?
Yeah, so reading is one of my hobbies, no? So and then it's interestingly, I mean, I would like to share how I started reading.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 10 years ago then. So I started seriously reading. I like reading, no? Educational books. Siyempre, of course, we need to study back in school. But I think in my early career, I think I'll say I have a midlife crisis or
Quarterly. Ganun.
quarterly crisis. So parang I got so frustrated with my career, with my personal life. Medyo I'm always down. So I tried to find, well, naghanap ako ng other ways as an outlet kasi I usually, just sleep or go out, eat or whatnot. But I tried to find another outlet on how to stay, calm and then don't mind those issues or whatever through reading. So I started actually with self-help book. So I think self-help book to help myself improve in terms of how I can see or even assess my life generally, not just professionally. What can I do better in terms of handling these concerns sa buhay? But I think to your question, no, reading is basically not just a hobby. It will help you, learn new things. Sabi nga nila, if you're a reader, you actually travel virtually sa iba-ibang lugar. Kasi when you read, actually, you can sometimes visualize yung mga scenes if you're into novels or whatnot. But apart from reading, apart from being it a hobby, I think on my side, since coming from a technical background tayo, so we usually, I'm not sure which one is a technical brain, right, left side ng brain, no, right side ata. So
Right,
we also
parang right ata.
so we need some creative or things then to kuti-kuti your brain. So reading, one of the things that reading can do is to have your left side brain, the emotional or other technical. We have these two parts, right? So to have it work even through reading or any other hobbies that can kasi I think
parang balance no, yung left and right, parang ganyan.
Correct. So I think on the health benefits naman is to help you avoid dementia. That's one of the things that I've learned. So I think again, if you're not into reading, try, explore, and find the book category that will fit you initially, and then later on explore. Kasi I know medyo mahirap. I mean, I think most of the Filipinos doesn't want to leisurely read as part of their regular practice. But it's a good hobby that they can explore apart from the other things that they're doing right now. Especially in pandemic, reading is fit since you can go out. So get your book. Maybe it's a technical book or what, either PDF or what. So try to start reading. Yeah, it helps actually.
Right. I noticed this in our talks. No, you're really about balance. No, balancing IT with balancing business. Kaya may IT and MBA ka. Balancing about the left brain and the right brain. No, and the MBA way nga to. No, na parang it depends always. No, circumstantial. Siguro one last question is currently ano yung mga passions mo, just to understand you better, and also to understand, like, for our audience, if they wanna be more like you, what passions do you explore as well?
So part of my hobby is reading, so that's I'm passionate about. So I've been doing that like for started 2012 or 2013. So every year I have this challenge to read 20, 30, 50 books a year, and then
50
that's
books. Wow, ilan yun? Parang 4 books a month, parang ganun.
Yeah, so 1 book per week. So but hindi ko na-meet minsan kasi syempre I do other stuff. So minsan nagbibiyahe. So I haven't met the target usually, but mga 50 to 70% lang. But it's a good thing that to have a specific number. If meron namang resources to get that number of books, why not? But apart from reading, I do a lot of cooking. That's one of my passion, and arts, painting. So again, as we've mentioned, balance. So when we do a lot of technical stuff, so we need to balance on the creative stuff. So I think a well-balanced life. So you can have different hobbies naman. So sometimes I go mountaineering, hiking, traveling, but it's good to always have a balanced life, as in general life natin, no? So we hear a
Work-life
lot
balance, ito nga yung sinasabi nila, di ba?
work-life balance. So find something that you are comfortable doing within your resources. Yun. So para at least you will have a less stressful life.
Right, no? So that generally wraps up our session today, no? I hope you guys like our story for today. And of course, if you have any further questions or if you have further comments, you can always leave it in the comment box below, no? Type it out there, shout out anything that you want to say to our speaker, to me, and we'll also put his description in the description box, right? And that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Sir Jerome.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Rafi, for inviting me. And again, I hope I can inspire or help the young professionals to maybe start planning kung ano yung next move natin. And of course, always be mindful of I don't know kung ano yung mga gagawin natin sa buhay. But again, stay safe and stay home as we are still in this pandemic stage sa buhay natin. So again, thank you so much.
Right. And last question lang, no? Just in case gusto nila ikaw yung maging faculty nila. Paano ba 'yun? Parang may short courses ka ba or kailangan talaga nila mag-enroll para ikaw ang makuha na professor nila?
So there are programs here at AIM. So mga right now I'm teaching some technical and strategy business courses. Mostly startups yung mga estudyante, startup founders or what. So they can visit the AIM website. May mga programs tayo doon. But on the side then I do trainings customized for organizations. So if I'm able and capable of the technical requirement, I ano naman do it for them. So just reach out. So search me on LinkedIn. Andun lang naman yung profile and contact information ko sa LinkedIn.
Right, guys. So I'll also put that LinkedIn and also the AIM link in the description. No? So para masundan nyo si Sir Jerome Locson, MBA. Professor pala, si Prof.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Prof. And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Thank you.
And of course, if you like our content, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and notification bell.